This is our one opportunity sometimes to see you guys face to face. You are our purpose, you are our reason for being, and so it makes us extremely happy to have you here and be able to share an important message, and in particular a very important goal that I'd like for everyone to take part in and pledge. So today, if everybody will participate, we'd like to take a pledge and give some important information about the university that you all have been a part of for the past few years. So first of all, welcome once again to the AIU family. One of the things that we have for this conference is to bring forth the point of unique and unrepeatable. So what makes us unique and unrepeatable? Sir, have you had an opportunity to see the video conference on unique and unrepeatableness? What makes us unique and unrepeatable and what it means for AIU?
Not yet.
Okay. Sorry to pick on you.
It's okay. That's why we're here.
Okay. How about you, my friend? Have you?
Very fine, yes.
Very well. What's your name?
I'm Fidelis.
Fidelis. Where are you from?
From Nigeria.
Nigeria. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, what makes you unique and unrepeatable? What are some characteristics?
Oh, from creation, it's only me. There's no other than me. And I am quite unique. Everything about me is me. And as regards what have come, the purpose of my coming to life is to continue to exhibit that uniqueness in every aspect of my life, so that even my makeup is just me alone.
Can you give us something very specific about yourself?
Okay, I am.
You're correct, 100%.
Oh yes, I'm a Catholic priest. And my charisma in reaching out to people and in converting people to God is from people's commendations is just perfect.
Fantastic.
So it's just me alone, and anyone trying to copy me is only copying, and I wouldn't even copy another person perfectly. In the same way, AIU is making me to realize my uniqueness, because it makes me see my potentials in impacting other people's lives. As regards to my study in AIU, I've also learned to make the best of myself, creating my own ways of learning and unlearning and relearning, like my friend said yesterday.
Learn and unlearn, yes.
Yeah. So, most of all, AIU is presenting something new that is not found in the traditional or conventional system of education, providing us with an alternative to educational opportunities, limiting the barriers of distance, localization, and space, and most of all, furnishing us with a technologically based system of education.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that. That's exactly right. And what we're trying to talk about in AIU for unique and unrepeatable is using those characteristics that are unique to you, like you mentioned, you're a preacher, your charisma,
Yes.
your past experience, what you want to do in the future, your intelligence, your spirituality. Nobody in this earth is just like you. And if we can take those qualities that make us unique and unrepeatable, we're able to achieve our maximum potential. If we work on those, further enhancing them, you've now gone through a program of AIU. All of these things and experiences through life make you unique and unrepeatable. And by using that and channeling that to achieve our greatest potential, we can then try to focus and achieve our dreams in life through that unique and unrepeatable that's within each and every one of us. Some of the things that make us unique. How many people here are married or have been married? Okay, that's one aspect. How many people here are from Nigeria? Okay. How many people here are from United States? Ah, very good. So, how many here are preachers or spiritual? Okay, very good. So all of these things start to separate us. And so what I'd like us to do today is interact. The enrichment of this activity will be through interaction. So look to your left, look to your right. Don't be shy. Look, you can look at each other's eyes. You can stand up, hug, shake hands, as you wish. Excellent. Very well. Fantastic. All right. Wow, that was amazing. That was quite amazing. So this is now your extended family. And so first of all, I want to recognize you, and I want you to recognize each other. Give each other a round of applause for a job well done. So talking about this pledge, we all know about the UNESCO 2030 goals. We've tried to communicate that through AIU. And here they are. There's 17 of them. And the idea is that by the year 2030, we can achieve all these. My friend, can you tell me something about the first goal of the UNESCO for 2030? You have it? Perfect. Can you share? Let me give one to each table, if I could. If you could please share it with our friends. So our pledge today is very simple. The idea is that each of us here today can take a pledge to use our unique and unrepeatableness, the responsibility of having earned our degree and the privilege that it is to have had the opportunity to do so, and see how we can give back to our families, to our communities, to our countries, to our world, to our future generations. And so one of the ideas is to ask you, what is your view on how we can tackle here today concretely with specific actions, perhaps that you have taken in the past, that you would like to take, or that you're taking now, and what it means to you?
Yeah, I'm from Ghana. As a developing country, we realize that the poverty level there is at the apex. So one of our issues is to deal with poverty, is to carry people along with us. Especially in Africa, the corruption level is very high. We realize that most people, it's only a few that are enjoying. So if that could be eradicated, it means that we have to carry the poor along with us. So it's not that we alone we are enjoying and then people will be there be suffering. So if that mentality is there, that whatever you get to, you need to carry along those who are poor. I mean, for a period to come, I think this poverty gap will be bridged.
Bring opportunity.
Yes, bring opportunity for people.
How can we create that opportunity? How can we bring them along with us?
Yes. If you go to Africa, for instance, you realize that a whole family, maybe one or two people will be better, but you will not carry those along with them. So the idea is that if you are able to get somewhere through your education, through your opportunities, you try to carry those down along with you.
So education could be one avenue.
Yes, education could be one, and then the success in some other areas other than education can also help you. Like if you are able to have a breakthrough in maybe intellectually, you have to come up with ideas to implement or invent something which will bring you some success. You need to carry those below you along with you, so that wherever you go, they also be with you. In that way, for some time now, I mean, this level has been disturbing the country, especially in Ghana, because you realize that it's only a few who are enjoying, but majority are in poverty.
Yes.
So if that idea is carrying on, I think it's going to help us. That is why we also have the Sustainable Development Goals that the government is implementing. Like 2030, at least, the number, some percentage of people will be out of the poverty gap.
And your name once more?
My name is Michael Kweku.
Michael, thank you very much for sharing that. That's exactly right. I mean, for us, one of the things that we can do to contribute, each of us here, taking the pledge today, we have so much to give back. I mean, there's so many examples. We can be something as simple as being an inspiration to someone. That can be enough to change a life. Sharing our knowledge, sharing our expertise, being mentor to someone. Not only that, but also, in addition to giving, sometimes to create something, you have to put your ego aside and be willing to ask for help. Ask another expert to help you, because a lot of people are willing to help, but some people are reluctant to ask for help. Volunteer in our communities. That's one way that we can also make a difference. The education system of AIU is a self-sustaining system that is really independent, andragogic, open, and I believe that each one of you here today, through phase 1 of the program that looks at your past, present, and future, is the most powerful phase of the program because it allows you to become a university of one. You no longer need a university because throughout your lifetime, you've already changed career paths. You've learned new skills. You've gone perhaps from one profession to another, from one department to another. You didn't necessarily have a college degree to fall back on each time. So you've already been learning andragogically. AIU has kind of tried to set some guidelines to assist in that process ongoing to become faster and more efficient. So each of you is now a university of one, and whatever change globalization brings, you're much more likely and able to adapt to it quickly and take advantage of those opportunities instead of being victimized by it. There's so many things that are changing so fast. They say in the next 5 to 10 years, it could be that 30% of jobs currently are in transportation, logistics, and things like that, public transport. And through automation and AI and self-autonomous driving, all of those jobs might become redundant. So that is a huge opportunity that's going to transform everything. I mean, even if you go to a warehouse today for a major, a major retailer, there's robots running around the warehouse, picking up the packages, sorting the packages, putting them on the trucks. The only thing missing is that the truck drives itself, which they can already do. Just they haven't rolled it out, but it's already here. We've seen videos of people in their car reading the newspaper. The car's driving itself already. So it's not something in the future. It's happening right now, and that's right there. 30% of the jobs. So a new world is starting to emerge, where instead of being victims of 30% job loss, we can say, wow, we now have an additional resource. Imagine all the young people, 30% spent driving a car, driving a truck, delivering packages. How productive is that? There's much more productive things that we can do. And with education and the ability to learn andragogically, not just in AIU but online, our young people are any age can learn new skills and participate in these massive changes that are going to only accelerate from this point forward. So what we now must question with this pledge is, what do we want our legacy to be? What do we want? What is our mission in life? What is our purpose? And see how we, in the, I think, privileged position that we are, can take our unique and unrepeatableness, our knowledge, our abilities, and not only define a dream in our lives, but see how we can bring forth others along with us to achieve that dream. And let's see if our dream can line up with one of these 17 goals. Madam, what's your name? Patience?
Yeah, patience.
Can you share with us perhaps what have you ever thought of your mission or your legacy in life? What's your purpose? What do you feel most happy doing in life? And share with us there. Perhaps we can. Now, just one thing, since there's so many of us and I'd like as many people to participate, try to pretend that you're in front of the United Nations. Try to pretend that you're in a meeting with investors that are going to consider your proposal or your idea, or at a job interview or something like that, and try to mention as much as possible something concrete within maybe a minute or so, and that way we can get the most enriching experience from this conference. Please, Patience.
Well, I believe in education, and my aim is to encourage females to come up as I did, because I came from a very poor family. I'm from Ghana, and I remember 20 years back, we used to sell fish with my brothers, and my big brother believed in education, struggled, and was able to make it. When he did and went through, he tried bringing all of us along. So he said, look, the secret to break this poverty in this family is through education. So that's how come all of us started schooling.
Mm-hmm.
And by the grace of God, we are all through now. So my mission is, when I get back to my country, all the ladies who are there, we have a lot of girls, the teenage pregnancy is very, very high in Ghana. So I will mobilize them, talk to them, encourage them. And some of the ladies, they are willing to go to school, but the financial support is not there. So the little we can do will help them to come up. That's one of my goals.
Please, if you like, you can pull up the chair if you like, or you can sit there.
Okay.
It's up to you. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you, Patience, for sharing that. So, Patience, you mentioned something important, which is how to give back. Your brother helped pull everybody along. In a prior conference, that reminded me, there was a teacher that mentioned that for her high school students, they did a project. I'm not sure if it was in Ghana, but they realized that they wanted to do some type of aquaculture with the students. But at the time, it was highly competitive. There was local companies that were doing aquaculture with the fish, raising the fish in farms, and there were Chinese companies that were doing that. But they realized that there was one thing that they were importing, not locally, and that was a fish feed. And so their project was to develop the fish feeding. And so I thought that was an incredible example of bringing forth ideas and changing something. You start researching one thing, you see a little bit of an obstacle, and you find your way around. Let's see. Go ahead.
Can you stand up?
Yes, please. Let us know your name and your country and maybe what you do.
My name is Brother Francis Verrier. I'm a married brother, and I work in Kenya. I'm a teacher by profession, been principal of the university as well back in Kenya, just finishing that.
Excellent.
When Patient was speaking there, something touched me. And when you were presenting, Prof, I said, I think there is one thing that everyone is looking for, and that is happiness. Happiness is the best. And I came across something which I'd like to share with all of us. That there are 4 levels of happiness. And the first one is the ego gratification. Good clothes, good food, and all these bad things in a Maslow will tell us about. But we shouldn't remain there. Once we are saturated, we move on. Somebody mentioned earlier about the problems in Africa. I think the ego gratification is not being satisfied in our leaders. They want more and more, aggravating poverty in villages, and there is much more to share. But we are holding up into what has been given to us. Because the question is, what is it that I have that was not given to me? Even the education that we received, it was given to us. But we are here to generate life, care and generativity. And that's the second level of happiness. To generate life, care and generativity. We transcend that. But what is happening at the second level is the ego comparative. I want to be like the President of the United States. I want to be like so and so. You ask the question, what is unique about you that you will want to make that flourish and be, complementing each other instead of competing with each other? Complementarity. That we celebrate the giftedness that have been given to us. Once we go beyond that, we're reaching the third level, which is care and generativity. Is my sister happy? Is my brother happy? How is my neighbor doing? Then we bring life. And in that third stage, we begin to go beyond transcendence. Who is the creator? Where did I come from? Why am I here on this planet Earth? Why am I here? What is my mission? Can I make that happen so that people can celebrate life and be happy? And then we're looking up to our Creator God, and that is transcendence. When that begins to happen in our midst, we will no longer be locking our doors. We will no longer be having barriers to say, this is from the United States, this is from Cameroon, this is from Nigeria. We will all be sons and daughters of this universe. Because it was a gift to us, and we are called to hold it jealously, find out what our mission is in that, on this planet Earth, to share that, so that the rest of us will be happy. Because I believe that God did not create us for nothing. We all have more than enough. And if we share that, there will be happiness. And I always tell my students that Psalm 139 is the Psalm of creation. When you have time, those of you who are familiar with the Bible, read Psalm 139. Because God did not consult you to ask you whether you would like to be born in Trinidad. Did God consult you? God never consulted you to ask you whether you want the parent of this or that or from this country, but He created you for a purpose. So we are on a journey leading back to Him. And should be a beautiful journey. Because we are going to a celebration with Him. Because He is the master, He is the creator, and He is the owner of all that exists. And He created each and every one of us specially in His own image and in His own likeness and image. Because we are special. He did not create me a pear tree or a mango tree, or He created me in His image and likeness. What is it about Him that I want to bring to humanity so that there should be happiness? Because happiness is found in God. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you very much. 1 second, I'll get everybody that wants to participate. Absolutely, thank you. Well, excellent. What a powerful message, and that's, all of this leads to what you mentioned, which is, hey, use your uniqueness and unrepeatability to help others, to make a difference, to have a purpose. The Indian word dharma, it means happiness. it means that what you're doing gives you happiness. So when you find your dharma, it leads to happiness, which is the best state of mind. When you show up to work every morning, do you show up like this? Good morning. Where's my coffee? Oh, I had such a night. My kids were up all night, couldn't sleep. The wife, I had to redecorate, put up these paintings, silly paintings. Why I have to put these paintings up on the wall? Or do we come in and light up the room? I am alive. Today is the present day. Today can be the best day of my life. With that mindset in everything we do, we can create our own reality. And one of the things that I wanted to mention before we get to other participants is we have to be careful with the things that we are influenced by, and we're not conscious of it. So some of those things are, even the way that you show up at the office. How do you feel? Not just outside, but inside. Is society imposing things on you? Are you allowing them to be imposed on you? We all believe that we are free, but in many degrees, we are a slave to many different circumstances. Whether it's to relationships, whether it's to fear. Fear is one of the greatest enemies. You could be a slave to your wants, because there's a very big difference between what you need and what you want. A particular home or a particular car, you need shelter, but you want you want that 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. So it's important that even in our relationships, we have to conform to certain things, but it's important that we are conscious of it. Once you become conscious of it, you can say to yourself, okay, you know what? I'm aware that I'm doing this. I'm wearing, maybe for women, high heels. I have to wear high heels. Oh my gosh, my feet. It's not comfortable for my feet. They even have a culture, the geishas in Japan, where the women will actually break the foot so that it becomes smaller. It's a different level of the same thing. Wearing uncomfortable shoes is just a higher level of the same thing. Same thing for men. Why do we dress up a certain way? In the graduation, we come with our graduation gowns. So silly. We look a little silly with the graduation gowns. But hey, it's part of the celebration, and we choose to accept it and participate. So,
I wanted to become a psychologist simply because of my fascination of human behavior, why people do what they do. By the grace of God, I happen to work with Nigerian Embassy in Libya. I've been in there with Nigerian Embassy for over 18 years. I think when I mention Libya, that name rings a bell. You should know what is happening there. I happen to be on the humanitarian side. I think they say when you give a child education, the rest become history. I did a research about why do our people, our brothers and sisters crossing the Sahara Desert, venturing into Mediterranean Sea, seeking for greener pastures outside. Majority died. I think I reached to a conclusion that 95% of our people there are uneducated and inexperienced. Some of them, you ask them question, which state are you from? Because you have to go there to identify. They will mix Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, all of them in one camp. We, as the embassies, we go there, you identify your own citizens. Some will not tell you the truth because they don't want to go back to their countries. But it takes an experienced officer to know this one is my citizen. Some you ask them, they will tell you, I don't want to go. I'm from Cameroon, but I don't want to go to Cameroon. What is the problem? So I think the problem there is education. Some of them didn't finish even primary school. And those traffickers have devised another means. What they do, they go to rural villages. Some of those girls, I'm telling you the truth, they don't have destination. You ask them, where are you going? They don't know. Just, they want to travel. And when they brought them there, they will sell them into slavery. Wow. I made a research. I wrote an article. It's with the AIU. I'm studying psychology on immigration. Psychology as an alternative to irregular migration. I think I define it there. Because you ask some of them, how much did you spend to reach to Libya? They will tell you $2,000-$3,000. And back home, they don't have such amount of money. The parents are the one contributing to this. They will sell their land, sell some of their properties to push the girl away. So trying to repatriate them back, they find it difficult to go home because going home, they have to settle the debt. Some of them died trying to cross Mediterranean Sea. I think a majority of the people here are from Africa, if I'm not mistaken. We should at least take this message back home to our government. And this. What is happening in Libya is appalling. Our people are dying there every blessed day. I don't know if you are conversant with the news of what is happening there now. They are fighting. They closed the airport. The other day, I think they threw a bomb in the camp.
Wow.
Over 60 African migrants perished. And our government are there. Some of them are working, trying to fix it. But I think in summary, we should try to go back home and educate our brothers and sisters not to venture in such. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, those are hard topics. Please, those are hard topics to absorb. You know, we're sitting here comfortably and we hear about these obstacles that people are going through, life and death situations. And I'll get to you guys. I just wanted to mention that, like he said, you know, creating awareness, going back to our countries. I mean, AIU has some tools that we would like all of you guys to take advantage of. Some of those tools are the AIU TV, AIU radio, the AIU blog, the webinars. Why are these tools that I think you guys can use and it can help, number one, to get the word out that he's sharing? I mean, if he can create some media and AIU can help in some way by putting it on our YouTube channel and creating awareness of it, sharing it with our students. I mean, we have students we have two presidents, two of our students who were sitting presidents in Africa. We have another student who was a presidential candidate. We have countless students who are heads of government agencies, NGOs. Many work at the United Nations. They're heads of companies, company founders, professors, researchers. They've done published books. So we have a community where with AIU Link, which if you go to the virtual campus, you have the student section where you do all your work. And you have My AIU. My AIU has a component called AIU Link. AIU Link is like a social media platform where you can find out about colleagues of yours from today, from in the future who are studying still, from 20 years ago. This is AIU's 21st anniversary. So the amount of connections that we have available for you guys to take advantage of is huge, both by getting your message out and making you an expert, because many of you guys are already expert. My friend, what's your name?
My name is Patson Kuntambila.
Yes, I remember we spoke earlier today, and you wanted to participate in a webinar or a conference. Perfect. I was explaining to him that those conferences are there to support you, to support your efforts, your dreams, what you want to accomplish in life. Because not only do you get your message out there, but we create a presence for you as an expert. When somebody looks up, you know, John or Stephanie or whoever it might be online, and they find that, hey, not only do they find your Facebook profile, but they find the university webinar that you gave, or they find the blog that you wrote, or they find different things. So you become known as an expert, which helps open doors, to helps bring like-minded people to work towards your cause. So one of the things we wanted to mention is to use those tools to your advantage and contact us. If we can help you write a grant written in part by AIU so that it increases the chance of you getting the funds. We've helped some students publish, apply for grants, and when it comes from the individual and the university, it helps. So please use those tools, and Madam, share with us your name, where you're from.
Yeah. Good day, all.
Good day.
Yeah, my name is Chief Dr. Miss Sinkendeli Mogbonne. I'm from Nigeria. She's Superintendent of Customs in my country. And we all are discussing of the 30 standards for development to be achieved by 2030.
Yes.
Then I looked into what is going on in my country. I discovered a lot that we may not meet up these achievements in 2030. Then I now discovered that whatever that may be used to achieve this has been engulfed into corruption in my country, or most of the African leaders. So I went into research to put down, because I'm a public officer and I'm graduating public administration. Being that I dealt with publics, I now decide to write public administration versus unabated, deep-rooted corruption by the third world political leaders, and the panacea for global international organization to curb it. Because when we are talking of sustainable work, economic growth, and you discover that our leaders in Africa, there's something I discovered when I came here. I entered the transportation. I was looking for conductor to pay my money. I did not see conductor. Eventually, I saw a machine. I was told to slot in my money to go wherever I'm going. Coming back the same, you did not see anybody. Back to African country, you see people roaming up and down. The money that belongs to you belongs to government. One government will squander an individual the money that we built up this Florida. And we are talking of achieving this goal in 2030. So I call up on global international organization, United States, where you have not less than 193 member states, which includes most of these African countries. If these people eat our money and slash it down to this place, for us to achieve this, I feel that the government should frozen the money, decide on one of these points, and utilize it, send the money back to the country, and say we want to achieve no poverty in that country. And you will set up a policy that will utilize that stolen money, embezzling money, looted money back to Africa. So that is why I am here. And when I go back, I will advocate and I will help others with human activists, human rights activists. how do we solve this problem? Because we are talking of education. Back in my own country, sorry to say this, all the people that are in the house, or the reps or senators in my house, none of them got the qualification to be there. Even if they have the qualification, how can a medical doctor be a minister of education, works? A lawyer be a minister of power? You know, so these are the things that is going on in my country,
Yes.
which is not okay. Therefore, with what I received from AIU and all that they have granted to us, my point here down is that each and every one of us, being that we have acquired this, will be bold enough to go to our individual country. As he has said, they may link us to their TV, their media, speak out. Push, we make it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Wow, very, very important topics. My friend, let me get to you, please.
I observed that those that spoke before me, they don't put the title doctor, but I'm Dr. Joseph Okoro from Nigeria. And we were talking about uniqueness, and I was asking my colleagues, why is this man unique? Because his uniform is different from ours. So, you know, I'm a comedian, so. Anyway, I read mechanical engineering in my first degree, and I was the best mechanical engineering student in University of Benin, 1988. And I joined Shell. I worked for Shell for 22 years and retired as a manager, early retirement though, in 2014. In 1996, I decided to go for my MBA, and I made a distinction in business admin. So I wanted to go for my PhD, and I said, well, engineers are poor people, so let me pursue my business administration. And all the schools in Nigeria refused. Even my own University of Benin, they made me to write written work and the oral interview. I passed, only for them to say my business admin, MBA, is not qualified. I have to do MSc. So I was on Instagram and I saw AIU. And I contacted Joan. That same day, my wife and I, we registered. And today my wife she has just done her 6th essay. But I finished mine within 4 months. And all my courses, including the thesis, all A's. What am I trying to say? My country denied me the opportunity of excelling. These schools. But now here I am with AIU. I am able to achieve my dream. Now, why
What is your dream? What is your dream specifically?
That is where I'm going. That is where I'm going. We talked about happiness, and I am one person who likes doing things that make me happy. I have several businesses, and all my work with AIU were all based on my businesses.
Excellent.
I have a hotel. My thesis is on that hotel. My survey was on that hotel. Then I have 2 schools, one in my village, one in Efru, it's a city close to Warri. And I set up that not because I want to make money, but because I want to impart, to the society, particularly the one in my village. And since I set up those schools, I've not gotten 10 kobo. Kobo is naira. It's Nigerian money. from those businesses.
Okay.
And I also have a movie. I'm an actor. I have a movie company. I've spent over $300,000. I'm converted. In that business, as a producer, a director, eventually I stopped producing and directing. And talking about happiness, today, I go to Asaba, for those of you in Nigeria. I go to Asaba on Mondays and I go back on Saturdays just to act. So fortunately for me, I have a son with a master's degree from UK who is now running the hotel, so I free myself. So what are my goals to impart to the society? I can tell you with all humility, I've trained maybe more than 10 through the university, and I'm still training today. In fact, I just started 2 people, particularly ladies, because they are the most vulnerable.
You're sponsoring them.
Yes, sponsoring them.
Okay.
You know, so what we should do as people who want to impart, I mean, in terms of achieving this, is what can I do? I was discussing with somebody here, and my friend. So he asked me about the country, our president, and I said yes, our president is the best president we can have right now. Why? Right. Because we voted him in. Not once, but second time. So I don't criticize governments. If you want a good government, then vote the good government in. So this issue of pointing fingers at the other person, no. Always look at yourself. What can I do to impart the society? So it is very, very, very important that we do that. And in my acting career today, I'm moving very fast. Between December and now, I've done like 50 movies. Wow. You know, and I'm rising very fast. And what am I doing? Even in my little house that I hired in Asaba, I accommodate some other persons because it's difficult to get accommodation there if you want to grow. If you are not in Asaba, it's difficult for you to grow in terms of movies. So in summary, what I'm saying is, let us look at, like what Madam said, what can we do and not what can he or she do. That is the most important, and do that makes you happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I'll get to you guys as well. I think that a lot of times we have dreams and we say, hey, I'd like to have my own business. Excellent. I'd like to help others. I'd like to start a school. Sometimes I think we have to be strict with ourselves and find specific ways to measure that and say, okay, I want to have a school. How many students? What % of those students do I want that they achieve college education afterwards? How many do I want to keep track of and help them be business owners? If I want to have a business, okay, what will the business do? What problem will it solve? How many employees do you want to have? 1 employee, just to maybe it's a business for your own family, or do you want to have the opportunity to expand it to other people and have others come along with you on the journey? So sometimes to specifically set the dream, set the goal, and then measure yourself, measure your progress, not just how many employees or something specific, but by when. So you have to have an amount and a date to keep yourself on track. And hey, if you don't reach it, that's fine, but it allows you to rethink things through, change, modify your plans, and set new targets and new dates. My friend in the back. Welcome.
Thank you, my friend. I was getting a little bit worried because our moderator was not looking at the back at all. So I had to make sure
I saw you jump up.
Yeah, I want to make a point here. First, about congratulations to all the graduates. Personally, I could not have finished my bachelor's when I was studying in Canada when I was just 19 years of age due to serious family problems. But then I returned to my country, which was in Guyana, and I was able to start a business with $7.50.
Wow.
At that time, which was valued now, at that time, maybe half of a cent, United States money.
Wow.
And built many companies and corporations employing over 3,000 people. And start many other businesses. I'm just trying to give if you want to do something, you could do it, but you have to have the vision. You have to have the dynamo. And there's something very special that I call, when I was interviewed some time ago, the oomph factor. I couldn't find a word to describe it. So I said the oomph factor, something that clicks and ticks in the heart and the soul and your stomach, and you can hear, I'm an entrepreneur and I can make it happen. So with $7.50 Guyana, less than half a cent American dollar, 1.5 gallon of gasoline at that time, 1979, and built a tremendous empire. Now, I'm not here to show off or to impress anybody, but once you want something, once you truly wish to achieve something, you could do it. Coming to AIU, I'm very grateful to them. Let's give them another round of applause. They have helped us all. They're very well organized, dynamic. My tutor, Cindy, was always there and working with me and encouraging me. At the age of 64, I'm able to get a bachelor's degree that I wanted to achieve for personal achievement. I don't want it for career. I don't want it for business. But yes, personal development and also human development, because I'm also the national chairman of the Universal Peace Federation, Guyana. And I'm responsible for appointing ambassadors of peace around the world as well. So I'm coming to Africa very soon to do some appointment there. We are very active in Africa, appointing ambassadors of peace. One of the problems that we have in the world is disrespect for each other, disrespect for nations, disrespect for ethnicities, disrespect for cultures and castes. This is one of the problems that we have. And the human nature that we have within us, while we want to strive for 2030, for this unique utopia world, yes, I'm an optimist, and I believe we can work and we can sacrifice and strive for it. But human nature from within needs to change. We need to face the reality of human nature, the corruptive power of politics and leadership. People get into leadership and in governance, and they forget their people. They forget their supporters, and they look upon themselves, and they get into in-depth corruption that sucks a nation. Moderator, sir, human nature within, that deceitful human nature, we need to work on that to save the world, to save humanity. We must remember, well, one person's quoted the Bible and respect. Holy Quran say, "O people of the world, let us come to an equitable proposition as between you and I, that we worship one God and we comprise one common brotherhood. We are one people. La ikra fi din." There is no compulsion in religion, and this is some of the things that people don't understand. Every people have a right. Be you a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, or a Sabian, Quran, and you believe in God in the last day, that you shall have your reward from God Almighty. This is the Lord and the God that we must worship. Whatever religions, and all the religions teach goodwill and love and harmony, but it's again that breath of freedom, that power that was placed in us by God, the power to choose, the rationale, the capacity to think, the capacity to choose between evil and good. We have that freedom. Otherwise, if we were given only bad or only good, we will have been robotic creatures. So we have to strive for goodness, love, harmony, and respect all peoples. Peoples must be judged, and we've heard the words before, they must be judged not by their skin color or their caste or their creed, but by the contents of their character. This is a message I give to you, and thank you, AIU. God bless you.
Wow, fantastic. Well, I mentioned that this conference was going to be special by the participation, and wow, that really has come through so far. One thing I wanted to go over in this conference as well is just, I mean, you guys have already experienced AIU. Our mission and vision is to create an opportunity for everyone who is seeking excellence, lower the barriers to access to education, and to change the 500 years of traditional education where you have a model of an expert dictating to a group of students. Because once you turn 16 years of age, studies show that you're independently able to learn. You no longer necessarily depend on the expert model, the traditional classroom setting. And more so than that, when you are dictated the curriculum, it takes away all creativity and the joy of pursuing knowledge. That's why an open curriculum design that AIU follows, the andragogic method, I think works so much, because you're able to be emotionally attached to what you're learning. I mean, there's been countless experiments that show retention of knowledge is dependent upon emotion. I mean, even at the lowest base level of animals, when you put a mouse inside of a tub of water, he frantically swims around the tub trying to save himself. And he finds a little pedestal hidden underneath the water, and all of a sudden he's safe. Now they did another experiment where instead of putting the mouse in the water, they put the mouse on that hidden pedestal to begin with. And then when they came back maybe a month later and did the same experiment, the mouse that was put on the pedestal did not remember where the pedestal was. He didn't have that emotion attached to the learning process, whereas the mouse that had to frantically swim around for its life made a straight line right to that pedestal, did not forget. So that's just an example of the power of being emotionally involved and choosing your path and your curriculum. So we have time for a couple more because we have another conference in Spanish for our Spanish students. And let me come to you, my friend. And let's make it short. Maybe we can get 3.
Okay.
If you can, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. You can stay there if you want. You want to come? All right, come on. All right. Come on up.
Voice. My voice is too low. Okay. Good day, everybody. My name is Sonny Ikoku. I'm sorry. My name is Sonny Ikoku. I stay in Germany. I grew up in Germany, but I have Nigerian background. And I've stayed almost 8 years in Germany. I went as a little boy.
Wow.
It's my voice, sorry. I'm sorry.
A
So,
little closer if you want. Yeah.
okay. So what I'm trying to say is like, can you hear me now? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is like, every speaker here has spoken. People from Nigeria have spoken. Somebody from Ghana has spoken. The moderator from America has spoken. All boiled down to one topic that we have. And the gentleman over there has spoken. And what is that? To create opportunity for ourselves, to create opportunity for the less privileged, to think about innovation, entrepreneurship, and all those stuff. My friend came up to me. You are too experienced. You know almost everything, but you have no degree. I'm a professor, but you still teach me. So what do you do? Why not go and have a degree for yourself? I said at my age, and at this time, with my business, how will I do it? I found AIU. AIU gave me the opportunity. Do you know, I did this course for 12 years, because there was no time. 12 years. Can you imagine? I break from time to time. Because my business always takes me around. I always travel around. No time to concentrate, But after 12 years, I was able to have my LLB, And even as at that, even before coming for this graduation ceremony, I've also registered in Frankfurt, Germany, for my master's degree. That is all. That is all about motivation. That is all about having the spirit in you to do something, having the spirit to contribute, having the spirit to work, to give back to the society what you have gotten. So I congratulate everybody here, and I'm saying at the same time, please, let's just stop doing most of it, less talking, and go into action. Any step we take today, we bring another step tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's take one quick action. If you guys want, stand up. Everybody stand up. Who will take the pledge to use my unique and unrepeatable talents to help define and achieve my dreams and make them coincide with the UNESCO 2030 goals as much as possible? Will everybody join me in today's pledge? Yes. Say, I do. I do. Congratulations. Please have a seat. Now, I'm gonna hold on to the mic, and I'm gonna go to you guys real quick.
I didn't.
Please.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What we
Okay.
pledged to.
Okay. We're pledging to contribute to the UNESCO 2030 goal, at least one of the goals. bringing together our own personal dreams, using our uniqueness and repeatability to define it and achieve it. All right? So my friend, please. Let me hold on to them.
Okay.
Share with us how you think you can contribute to achieving some of those, something specific or concrete that you have done in the past, are doing, or would like to do.
Okay. My name is Alex Kanyamazulu.
Welcome.
I'm from the Republic of Zambia, but I work from Kenya. One of the issues that we've observed is youth unemployment and adult unemployment. People have got talent, but the only thing what is needed is to harness that talent and use ICTs. Instead of rumor mongering on the internet, you become positive and use those skills to be able to alleviate yourself from poverty through the use of
you mentioned ICT?
Skills.
ICT?
Yes.
What is that?
Information communication
Oh,
technology.
information. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are looking at one opportunity of looking at people are not employed, but they can earn something through the use of the internet by selling software, by all the arts and all those things.
So you're creating a platform where they can sell their skills and services.
Yes, and impart some knowledge on how to go about it.
Fantastic. And how many users or how many people have signed up to do that, or what is your goal as far as?
Right now, I'm in the process of learning, and I'm being mentored by people from Canada.
Fantastic.
Yes, to ensure that it's very nice. It's very, very helpful.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Very
in
good.
terms, it's called Clicks Digital Agency. We try to help companies sell more online by being visible globally. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing. Who else wanted to participate? Madam, please share with us. Let me hold on to it. Share with us something of how you think you can contribute to one of the UNESCO 2030 goals.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Florence Grace Adong.
Welcome.
Ministry of Water and Environment, Uganda. Actually, my thesis for my doctorate was on one of the goals, Goal 6, on water and sanitation, 6.4.
So this was actually one of your goals already.
Yes,
wonderful.
And it is linked to what I'm supposed to do. In Uganda, we have shared water resources with the Nile, and the water is not enough for all of us. So as a manager of water resources, my responsibility is to ensure that the little is used efficiently. We discovered that the major water user at the moment and the major water polluter was the manufacturing sector, and therefore my research went on how to optimize water use in the manufacturing sector. And that contributed to goal 6.4 of the. So my results showed very good results that linked to capacity issue in the manufacturing sector. So in what we did, we found that we were able to reduce the amount of water. For example, in one industry for the 3 years of my study, we reduced over 400,000 cubic meters of water.
Wow.
And they had a number of profits which emanated from saving the wastages by reducing the water bill. Some reduced by 60%, others by 40%. So they were able to pay less in terms of water, and they were able to maximize their profit because they were able to recycle the water and also maximize the use of the inputs, which otherwise they were going to throw into waste. So in that way, my background is actually science, but I had to go into business because I wanted to find how I could package my science in a more attractive manner that the business people would appreciate. And in these results, I can tell you that from the little that we contributed, like $4,500 per industry, they were able to contribute on their own more than 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah, and therefore it came out with a very good opportunity for public-private partnership in order to maximize water use, but also make sure that we reduce pollution. And when we did that, actually, I calculated the amount of, from the waste that we was reduced, how much greenhouse gas was saved from what I did. So I think from this I presented last month to government, and government has adopted it and is going to scale it up for the whole country. So I think this is very important.
So there you have it. You're talking about a tenfold increase in profits from what was invested. I think any business would be happy to implement that yesterday, and saved water use 40 to 50%, I think, and reduced greenhouse gases. Fantastic. My friend, share with us something about how you think you can contribute to one of these goals in a specific or concrete way, if possible.
Okay, so I don't know how many of us have this goal is well printed out. Now, very simple question we need to ask ourselves. By the way, my name is Bayo Balogun from Nigeria.
Bayo, welcome.
Yeah, with the completion of my course now, I'll be called doctor. Okay? Okay, yeah.
Congratulations.
So, if you look at all this, we may need to ask ourselves, where will this goal be implemented? Do you think in United States, in Canada? Where? It is actually where you are in your own country. It is not in United States building in New York. It is where you are. We talk about water and hunger. The poor you always have around you. In the past, I am a change agent, and that is what I believe I was created to be. I like making a change and imparting change that is so infectious that people can pick up my change style and also do the same thing. I saw a village one day. The people goes about 10 kilometers in the morning to fetch water. Yeah. And I just have a simple question. How long will it take to drill a borehole and put some things together? I was given the cost. And this is like half my salary where I work as a production manager in our company. So what I told my wife, let's go and do something. The change we are talking about is not going to be on that country. It's where you are. Yes. We must brighten up the corner where we are. If I brighten up my corner, she does, you do, then this goal will be realized worldwide. We drill that borehole, we put electricity there, put tank. I was shocked the first day, 400 people fetched the water. Wow. I stay very far, and I just say, oh, so little change can make this big difference. So what I'm doing now,
it frees up all the women or the children or people at home to do other productive things, businesses, anything.
Was clean, was well purified with just little amount of money. So we may be looking at these things as something that is nebulous. No, let's start from where we are. If you make a change where you are, if I do, the whole world will realize this even before the 2030. The question we must go home with today is, what am I doing to ensure I'm a partner to this change? I have decided to be a change agent, and I'm starting small from where I am to make sure I brighten up the corner. I do the best I can do, and I'm also encouraging everybody, do the best you can do, and this goal will be a reality.
Fantastic, my friend. Well, now you have it. It was basically, you're talking about an investment of, I don't know, $500 to $1,000, change the lives of as many as 400 people who could now devote their time to something more productive. Last one, they're calling me to.
Okay, I'm Kenneth Kai Kumba. I'm so glad and happy to be in your midst, and I work for various international NGOs. Presently, I'm working in Cameroon as Human Resource Manager for the Norwegian Refugee Council. I also set up my own business back home, which is a human resource consultancy and outsourcing firm. They call Loyalty HR. If you Google it, you can find it. I've been in recruitment for 17 years. And the reason, one of my contribution will be like 16, where you talk about peace, justice, and strong institutions. Most of the challenges that we have in Africa is corruption. And corruption is not only limited to stealing money from government. And in our humanitarian sector, I am a recruiter. I know that she is qualified, but because he was sent by someone from sitting in the corner, then I choose him over her. And it probably, if she would have been given the opportunity, she should have impacted more life than taking someone, recruiting someone that will just come and steal from the institution and will not contribute anything. So as he mentioned, wherever you are, you have to impact the life of people around you. Hold yourself accountable that if I'm here, I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I've failed my generation. Because the challenges that we have, we always point fingers at others. Hey, he's doing that, he has done that. This person has done it, no one has taken any action. But you can be a change manager. You can be someone that can represent AIU in Africa, in anywhere you find yourself, that you can speak up to say, I'm a graduate from AIU, and I learned something from there, and it will also motivate other people to even enroll in the AIU, because it is not what others are doing, it is what you are doing that can transform what we are doing. I think for me, I will continue in that same vein. I've done it in Congo DRC, where I worked before. I've done it in Chad, where I work with MSF. I work with Oxfam in Niger, and I've been in the human resource field doing recruitment, and I have always been transparent. Whenever colleagues come to me from office, oh, I have my friend that has applied. But I tell you that, okay, your friend has applied, but we have our recruitment policy that needs to be respected. If your friend has applied, it meets the criteria, the requirement, then it will be shortlisted. I have family members that accuse me of not helping them with job. But yeah, that accuse me of
pressure.
a lot of pressure from not helping them with job. But I feel relieved that I'm doing the right thing by choosing the rightful candidate that can impact and impact the life of others, and also ensure that does something that is very unique in their life. I have friends from all over the world because I recruited from different countries. I should have been someone who say, oh, I'm from this country, choose people from that country. But I think the best lesson for all of us, your uniqueness. Don't ever make someone to question your integrity. Once your integrity is questioned, anywhere your name is mentioned, it's like people already know you to be a negative person. I think as AIU graduates, that should be our message, and that is what we should stand for.
Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it. Well, just like our colleague has mentioned, just like you, sir, mentioned earlier, I think it's a common thread that we should take it upon ourselves to make the change, to be the pole of change that we want to see in the world and in others. And we've already taken the pledge today. Thank you. And let's, you're a university of one. You are now independent. You can follow the same skills. Start phase 1 with your dream. Whatever you have defined today, if you haven't defined it, define it. Set forth a particular action, activity, something that it can be your dream, and tie it into the UNESCO 2030 goals. Set targets, set deadlines, set dates. Do your first phase, but on achieving this dream, and begin anew as many times as you want for every single dream that you want to make into a reality. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the ceremony today.